Imagine flying a drone over the most remote, unexplored part of the Amazon rainforest. Green, dense, and teeming with life for miles in every direction. Everything seems perfectly normal. But then, as you cross the 65th meridian west, the world just stops. The vibrant green canopy abruptly ends, hitting a perfect razor-sharp line. And beyond that line, nothing. A 1-mile wide circle of absolute velvet black. No trees, no shadows, no reflections. Just a void. This isn't a CGI effect. This is from leaked data, file number 412, captured by a deforestation monitoring drone in October 2025. It shows a place on Earth that, according to our understanding of physics, simply shouldn't exist. So what are we looking at? The first thought might be a deep sinkhole or a dark lake, but the data says otherwise. When cartographers first saw this anomaly on satellite images, they dismissed it as a glitch, a dead pixel on the planet's sensor. But the drone footage proved it was real. So they tried to map it with LiDAR, a technology that uses laser pulses to see through the dense jungle canopy and map the ground below. Everywhere else, the lasers bounced back, creating a detailed 3D map of the forest floor. But when the plane flew over the circle, the lasers went out and never returned. It was a complete radar blank. It's as if the ground itself, whatever it's made of, is absorbing every single photon that touches it. Scientists are scrambling for an explanation, with some calling it a natural Vantablack, a substance so dark it absorbs over 99.9% of all light and radiation. But Vantablack is one of the most advanced, man-made materials on the planet. How could a perfect circle of it, a mile wide, appear naturally in the middle of the Amazon? Stranger still, the jungle doesn't just fade out or thin at the edge. It stops dead, as if hitting an invisible wall, a perfectly defined border where life ends and the void begins. The mystery was so profound that a covert expedition was allegedly dispatched to investigate on the ground. Leaked logs and fragmented GoPro footage tell a chilling story. In early 2026, a specialized team of scientists and survival experts reportedly trekked for weeks through the Japura Salam sector, one of the most inaccessible regions on Earth. Their goal, to reach the edge of what they were calling the void. The grainy footage shows them hacking through incredibly dense undergrowth, the air thick with humidity, and the sounds of the jungle. Then they reach it. The video shows a team member kneeling down. On one side of an invisible line, there's rich soil and green grass. On the other, the ground instantly becomes a fine, black, dust-like substance. One of the explorers, a geologist, reported that the black material was cool to the touch and had no discernible texture, almost like solidified smoke. But that wasn't the most disturbing discovery. The expedition logs report an immediate and bizarre equipment malfunction the moment they crossed the line. Their digital devices, GPS units, and radios went dead instantly. But what defied all logic was what happened to their old-school mechanical gear. Analog watches with moving gears and springs stopped ticking. The hands froze in place. Their compasses didn't just spin wildly. The needles pointed straight down, as if the single greatest magnetic source on the planet was directly beneath their feet. The team members reported feeling a strange sense of vertigo and disorientation, a feeling that one described as the world tilting sideways. They couldn't stay long. Every instrument was failing, and a feeling of deep, instinctual dread pushed them back. They had stepped into a place where the fundamental laws of physics seemed to break down. This phenomenon might not be new at all. In fact, it might be ancient. When researchers started digging into the folklore of the isolated indigenous tribes in the region, they found recurring legends of a sacred, forbidden place. They call it the Great Eye of the Earth, a place where the ground is as black as a starless night. Their oral traditions, passed down for centuries, warned that it is a place where time stops moving and the birds forget how to fly. They say their ancestors knew of its power and respected it from a distance, believing it to be a connection to the world below. This led archaeologists to re-examine ancient geoglyphs found in other parts of the Amazon. These are massive designs carved into the earth, only visible from the air, created by a pre-Columbian civilization thousands of years ago. A controversial new theory suggests that some of these geoglyphs aren't just art, they're schematics. Sketches of certain circular patterns bear a striking resemblance to the proportions of the void. The theory is that this isn't a natural anomaly. It's a gravitational anchor, a piece of impossibly ancient technology buried deep within the Earth's crust. Something so massive and dense that its gravitational field is strong enough to literally bend space-time in its immediate vicinity, causing light to be trapped, mechanical clocks to stop, and compasses to point toward its core. Could an ancient Amazonian civilization have built, or perhaps found, something that fundamentally alters reality? It sounds impossible, but the evidence on the ground is forcing scientists to ask questions that belong more in science fiction than in textbooks. In the wake of the leaked data in the failed expedition, the official response has been swift and silent. The Brazilian government, in cooperation with international agencies, has declared a 50-mile no-fly zone around the coordinates 0 degrees, 42 minutes, 18 seconds south, and 65 degrees, 51 minutes, 4 seconds west. It's officially designated as an environmental protection area for atmospheric research, a cover story. But they were too late to stop the satellite images that are already out there, scattered across public servers and mapping services. You can try to find it yourself. Go to any satellite map, enter those coordinates. You might have to switch between different dates or providers, as new images are often scrubbed or censored. Look for a patch of permanent cloud cover or a data artifact in that specific spot. If you find a dark patch, a cloud that never, ever moves no matter what day or year you look at, you've found it. The question is, what is it watching? And what happens when it finally blinks? Thanks for watching. Follow for more truths hidden in plain sight.